Welcome back into This is Anfield Weekly. Chris, a result that I don't think anybody in the world expected at the weekend against Aston Villa. A little bit like the Liverpool midfield. Matt Ladson has gone completely missing. So it'll just be us two talking about this one. I mean, just first of all, your thoughts on the performance and what you saw on the day.
I don't really remember the match now, thankfully. But no, in all seriousness, yeah. Yeah, I was flabbergasted. It's probably the best expression. I've never seen anything like it in my life. Yeah, I think when I was trying to process it in my own mind after, I thought it's like a Swiss cheese model. Everything that could go wrong,
Yeah.
wrong, and all the holes aligned, and this bolt of light went through and smashed us for 7. And do you know what, Keith? We're lucky it could have been 8. Watkins hit the bar. Sorry, it could have been 10. Watkins hit the bar. Barkley missed a couple of sitters. That's 3. 7 and 3 is 10. We could be looking at something else. But, yeah, from front to back, we're terrible. My personal opinion, and I don't know if you agree with this or not, and some people have said, I'm pretty bad for saying this, but if Adrian doesn't make that mistake within a couple of minutes, he doesn't upset the whole back four, doesn't make them nervous. And it's like a parachuter. If someone doesn't want to jump out the plane, it puts everybody else in a plane. Sure. And that's what I thought it was like.
Yeah, I would agree. I would say, look, the mistake sets the tone for the game. They get an early goal. I thought Liverpool responded quite well. I thought they start dominating the game with possession. But I agree with Klopp at the end too. It's like it shouldn't have affected the outcome of the game like that. Liverpool are a strong mentality team. Klopp said it all the time. So for me, it's like, yeah, there was one mistake. But, you can't put Joe Gomez's performance on Adrian's mistake. I just felt, obviously, I thought the first half was poor. I thought the changes we tried to make in the second half got away from who we are. I mean, our midfield three, the wide midfielders in the three really cover the ground that the fullbacks should defend when they go forward. In the second half, we didn't have that shape when Taki came on. And all of a sudden, every time Villa went forward, I mean, Ian Joy, a friend of ours that covers the Bundesliga as well, he texted me at halftime and said, if anybody comes back from this, it's you. And I was saying, no, I don't think we can, because we cannot stop giving up chances. And it really was. If it was a boxing match, we would have thrown in the towel. It was that bad every time they went forward.
Yeah, I mean, the midfield was particularly poor. The defence was poor. I thought both right-sided players were poor. I thought Trent wasn't on his day. I thought Gomez, we spoke last time about how much better Gomez looked. He looked really poor again. But, yeah, nobody really got off. I thought Salah was bright and energetic.
Yes, very good, yeah.
Thought Diego Jota did very well. But I still feel he missed a couple of good chances. Firmino, I was speaking about this to someone else today. I've got real concerns about him now, and purely because he's been asked to do such a hard role for 3 seasons. I'm getting the feeling he may be getting near that burnout stage where he needs a break, and we don't have another player like that to do that position, to do that work. He's probably my biggest fear at the moment. I think everybody else can be coached or it can be fixed. Firmino, I think, looks mentally and physically tired purely because of what he's asked to do.
Yeah, and I think for me, with Firmino, we always talked about goals were never the measuring stick for how Firmino played. But there was still a stream of goals in key moments. It was, whether it be 7 in 20 games or, where you're saying, okay, that's not the best strike rate of a number 9, but he does so much more. But when you hear it's 1 in 17 and scored 1 in the last 20 at home, and you're going, well, this is, it's not just a small sample size anymore. And yeah, I do think in games, even when we had possession against Villa, there were opportunities there where we weren't as clinical as we needed to be to get ourselves back in the game. But on Gomez, just going back to that, Chris, I mean, the Watkins goal, the second goal, we know Joe is quick, but he gets beaten out wide and then he overcompensates and then allows Watkins to come back inside and he beats him both ways. So for me, that's an area of concern with Gomez. He's not as physical as he needs to be in those situations that Van Dijk is. But this is something I think has been coming. We go back to the Salzburg game last year where we conceded in a bunch. The Watford game, we conceded in a bunch. The Man City game, we conceded in a bunch. It has to stop. We can't be a top-level team and concede goals at that alarming rate so quickly, because we'll put ourselves out, maybe not out of the league, because I think it's going to be a crazy season, But in Champions League play, you come up against a Bayern Munich, a Barcelona, anybody, and play like that defensively, you're going to be in massive trouble.
Yeah, and to be honest, it's the opposite of what we normally do. We're normally that team that sniffs that out and scores 2 or 3 or 4 within 10, 15 minutes. We're normally that side doing it. We're not having it done to us. So, yeah, it is a worry. I mean, it's a worry for that game. There's been a bit of a trend building. I'd like to see a big response in the next game, obviously, and after that. But I think back, we were battered by Spurs at Wembley. I don't think we lost after that again for a very long time. I'm hoping the sort of issues that we saw get worked out, especially in this break. And yeah, we look back at this in May and we laugh about it. That's what I'm hoping anyway.
So just for you, we'll end on this. I mean, is this a one-off for you? You're prepared to move forward, or are you a little bit alarmed heading into the next set of fixtures?
So I think it's a one-off the scoreline. I don't think we'll get beat by 6, 7, 8 goals or more again. I'm a little concerned we may see a bit of replication of the sluggishness.
I think we'll get a couple of those 1-0 games where we're fighting, we're slugging it out, rather than just trying to outshoot every team and leaving ourselves so open defensively. But yeah, look, this team has earned the right over the last 3 years to have an off day. It was a really off day, but I'm sure we'll bounce back.